so we are in London, sitting this little cutie here. His name is Ernie. Hey, buddy. So we actually flew from Malaga to London, and it was the most horrendous trip of my life. I actually got sick just before our flight and was nauseous throughout the whole time, especially while landing. And now I'm slowly recovering, starting to be able to eat some food. And I thought I would show you guys our grocery haul. Just talk about how much groceries cost here, what we get, how we plan our week, what kind of meals we eat, to just give you a little bit of inspo if you are stuck with your nutrition. Now, another reason that we try to eat at home as much as we can is that restaurants are definitely more expensive. Usually, from our experience, restaurants will be almost 10 times more expensive than eating at home. So if you want to save money, that's also a really, really good option. However, one thing that I really like about the UK is that a lot of the restaurants will actually list the amount of calories per dish, which will help you stay on track. Now, before I head to the grocery store, I try to kind of think about how many meals we would need. We usually grocery shop for two, myself and my boyfriend, and I kind of plan those meals ahead of time so that when I get to the grocery store, it's a lot easier to pick what I need and you can get in and out pretty quickly. So we did our groceries at Aldi, and another good place to do groceries is Lidl's. These are kind of larger stores that are known to be affordable. This is kind of what my list looks like. And it's not an extensive list. So for example, I'll put burgers and bun, Moroccan chicken. These are kind of the meal ideas that I thought of, but then there would be some stuff like can of beans or ground beef that would be more specific. So a little bit over the place, but it kind of works for me because it takes literally no time to put together. And then when I get to grocery store, I'm a little bit better prepared. So I actually follow a lot of UK fitness channels. So one of them is Holly B Fitness, and I love her recipes. So one of the recipes I saw on her channel is potato with chili on top and some cheese. So we went for that idea for this week, especially because it's a little bit cooler here. It's almost like Vancouver weather here. It's about 8 degrees and kind of gloomy and rainy most of the time. So some chili sounded like a good idea. We also got all of the basics, which is yogurt, oats, eggs, bread, and all that. I like them. This is really good, actually. So this is like an improvised recipe. I put the oats, I put some oat milk, some yogurt, and then I blended a banana with some jam and mixed it all together and then topped it up with some berries and almonds on top. We also got some chicken, of course, and there's so many ways that you can have chicken. We have that all the time. It's just a great source of protein. For example, last night we had just some chicken wraps, which is super easy to make. You guys might already know, but I don't really gravitate towards salads. I prefer a bowl where you have rice, veggies, and some protein. So that's definitely on my list. I try to make sure that I always have some ingredients to put something together. And I don't really go by recipes. I just go by whatever I have in my fridge and however I feel like that day. One thing that was a little bit weird is that they didn't really have Philadelphia here. They call it soft cheese. So I was just literally sitting there in the aisle looking at it for 15 minutes trying to figure out if it's actually cream cheese. We haven't opened it yet, but we'll see if we got the right thing. And we also love having pasta from time to time as well. We usually get protein pasta, but we weren't able to find that. So we just got tortellini, and I think they're filled with sausages inside, so that's going to be delicious. And then we also love making this Moroccan chicken dish that's really, really good. So it's kind of like chicken with chickpeas, beans, and tomato sauce. I think we saw that on Joey D's channels, and I'm going to try to find a recipe for you guys, but we kind of just do our own version of it at this point. So yeah, those are kind of our meal ideas for this week. And of course, we got a few sandwiches because when we're exploring around town, that's usually our go-to. All right, so let me show you exactly what we got and how much that cost us. So I have taken out the groceries, laid them out for you guys. Over here, I have all the carb sources. So we usually get some rice, some bread or bagels or wraps. So we also got pasta here. This one actually has some protein in it as well because it's spicy sausage. We got our oats and a little less healthy, but still part of our diet, are some cereal. We also got some sandwiches, like I said, for when we're exploring around, and some cans here. So we have our kidney beans, we have chickpeas, there's some tomato sauce as well, and pasta sauce. Moving on to the other side of the counter here, we have our protein sources. So we got a few steaks, got some lean bacon, some chicken, some beef, and some tuna cans. We also got these really good protein yogurts. They're super delicious. You can either have the yogurt or the pudding, and you also have these ones that are super convenient when you're on the go. We also got all of our dairy here. So we got some soft cheese, like I said. We're gonna see, this is actually Philadelphia. We got some Greek yogurt, some milk for our coffee, some eggs, and then we got a few veggies. We actually had quite a few veggies left from our host, so we didn't go crazy on the veggies and fruits. We just got some cucumber, roquette, some avocado, some mushrooms, and then we got some nectarines. And sometimes actually when your hosts leave, they leave you a little bit of food as well. As you can see, our fridge is not completely empty. You do still have some stuff left over, like butter. We got a lot of tomatoes here, some greens. So this is all stuff that our hosts left us because they were heading out on vacation. All right, it is time to tell you how much it actually costed us to do our groceries here. So looking at our bill, it was $53.08, so just a little over 50 pounds. Of course, due to the conversion rate, it is a little bit more for us in Canadian, so I think that's about probably close to 80-90 Canadian dollars when we convert from pounds, but still fairly decent for two people for an entire week. So we've noticed that most of the groceries are actually a little bit cheaper here in Europe, especially when it comes to vegetables. For some reason, vegetables are quite expensive back home in Canada, and as well as dairy. Dairy is a lot more affordable here in terms of cheeses and stuff. But one thing that seems to be more expensive, we've noticed, is that in Spain, instant noodles were like 3 times the price than back home. Now that we're in the UK, it's back to a bit more of a reasonable price. So it really depends on what it is that you're buying. Alright guys, so that is it for today. It's been really fun spending some time with you and going over our grocery. I hope that was helpful to you and it gave you some meal ideas, and I'll see you in the next video.